We're now going to talk about the static keyword in Java. It has a couple of different meanings, and I'd like to use one video to explain each. So static versus non-static. We've seen static before, right? Public static void main. We've seen it before. But what does it mean? How do we use it? All of those things. Java is object-oriented programming OOP language, which means we need to use objects or access methods, variables inside of a class. However, it's not always true. While discussing static keyword in Java, we learned that static members are class level and can be accessed directly without any instance. In this article, which is where I got this from, we will see the difference between static and non-static. Static methods can access static variables without any objects. However, non-static methods can only be accessed using objects. Static methods can be accessed directly in static and non-static methods. For example, static public static void main can be accessed by other methods. Also, non-static regular methods can access static methods directly. Now, when I say that, everyone says, what? What did you just say? So let me break this down a little bit clearer. However, this is not always true. Let's see. While discussing a static keyword, we learned that static members are class level and can be accessed directly without any instance. So we know when we create an object of something, we get access to everything that object can do, right? So if I create a scanner, scan equals new scanner, by now we know I've created a scanner object. I can type scan and press period and get a list to all of these things that the scanner object has access to, all of these methods. But I can't access, say for instance, the next int method unless I have a scanner object. Right? If I'd never created the scanner object, I can't access next int because the method is part of the class, so I have to create an object of the class as I did here. So this is non-static. But a static example would be, if you remember, the math class, right? So if I wanted to like raise 2 to some power, I could do math.pow 2 to the power of 2. And it's waiting for me to type something in because of the scan.next int here. But you see here, math.pow, I didn't have to create an object of the math class. There is no object of the math class instantiated anywhere here, and that's because the math class is static. So we can use its methods directly through the class without making an object of that class. This is one of the powers of static methods, and this is a non-static class. Sorry, static class and non-static class. So that's an introduction to static versus non-static. I want to take you a little bit further through that with these two examples, which you will see. Let's do it right now. So I'm going to clean out this code right here, and I'm going to show you basically what we just did, but with our own code. So I have static example, which is a class, and static demo, which is a main class. Let me just flip these around. In static example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a public static void method, and I'm going to call it drive, and it's just going to say driving. And then I'm going to make a public void method, and I'm going to call it fly, and that's just going to say flying. So we have driving and flying, just two system.outs. Inside of my static example, I'm going to show you that I can write static example period, and I get access to that drive method. Now, didn't I make two methods over here? I did. Now I have access to the drive method only because the drive method is the static one, meaning we don't need to create an object of the class to access it because it is a static method. So this will work and I can use it. But if I want to use the fly method, it's non-static. So in order to use the fly method, I have to create an object of the class, and then I am able to access the fly method. Notice the drive method isn't in the list because that is a static method. So this is a short and sweet example of static versus non-static. Static, you do not need to create an instance of the class, and non-static, you do, as you can see based on these examples and the running here.